till you order that electric semi, see how that works.
Yeah, I saw a meme, it showed a huge traffic backup, everybody snowed in, just sitting there. I said, I bet you wish you had an electric car now, wait for your battery to go dead.
I told TJ, don't sell any grain out of those bins for a while, because the trips were crazy.
We got a haul street. Or Caroline's hold yet this week.
Well, I guess it's not.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
My computer's fast. My timer on my computer says 8.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
See my phone too. I should turn mine down.
I'm in between.
I don't even know if we needed to have this meeting at 8.
Oh, did things change for you?
We'll find out here. She's got to make another phone call, but Mercy called and said that they weren't going to go ahead with her appointment unless they got whether it's insurance or workman's comp settled. We still haven't heard anything from the workman's comp people, and of course, nobody was in the office on Thursday afternoon, and nobody was there Friday, and they weren't there yesterday. And so she's going to make a call this morning to find out whether she's even having her
Oh,
appointment.
good grief, that's too bad.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Do you want to take care of that this morning or after?
We'll do it after the meeting.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, it was good for me to get it done early because I gotta take a broken truck in.
Yeah, well, no,
CD axle broke
Oh, gee,
on my plow truck, so.
well, the
you
important.
were too hard on it.
The important thing is that
Yep.
you'll probably don't take breakfast.
We'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll consider for approval the minutes and agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and agenda.
I'll second it.
Moved by Derby and seconded by Jensen to approve the minutes and the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Scott to discuss secondary road matters. I bet he's got some stuff to tell us. Maybe?
7530.
Sally took the day off.
Hey Scott, ready for you? Does that work or not?
Lake Geneva.
Pardon?
Lake Geneva.
Okay, all right, we'll put you off. We'll put you off. We've got other stuff. Yeah, yep. Okay. All right, thank you. I think he didn't realize or forgot that it was at 8 o'clock. He'll be up. Consider for approval final voucher for FM. Oh, that's
That's gonna be him
That's
too.
him.
Yeah.
consider auditor's office to discuss drainage.
7511.
Thank you. Hey, Chris, we're ready for you. Thanks. What'd you say about Sally? No breakfast? No nothing?
She's not there.
She's up.
Oh, she went to,
Wasn't it Lake Geneva or something?
yeah. Well, good for her.
I stopped by and dropped off some less of for
Is Scott coming?
He will in a few minutes.
plowed out her driveway.
You wanna wait for him?
Well, I don't have anything. And the only thing that I do have is number 5, which includes him, so.
Oh, okay. Well, then should we just call you when he comes back?
Yeah, that'd be great, and then I'll finish the claims to give to you too.
Perfect.
Perfect, thanks.
Well, we're gonna have to have a lot of open forum.
I
Yes.
was gonna say, we
Let's-
better have something.
That might get us in trouble.
Yeah.
You know how we are.
Yeah,
Carla,
yeah, I'm,
who's gonna rein
makes me
this
nervous.
open forum in?
Well, I think that would be the chair.
I know, but
I think
sometimes
right
it's
there under
very
those Roberts rules.
interesting.
We
it's
gotta
the
make
dirty
this-
looks by the county auditor. This is all I got to open for him.
Sometimes it's the most Interesting. Oh, that's all
Just
you
need to,
have?
yep.
Okay.
Are we getting any, applications for the project coordinator?
Not yet.
Did we make a phone call to, did you end up calling Mr.,
You was on call.
yeah, Mr., I can't say his last name.
Jason.
so.
Jason.
No, I did not.
Well, what, does anybody know what hours he works or anything like that? I mean, is
Works during the day in Leland.
During the
I
day.
suppose it's spotty down there.
I just think it's probably be good to
I
know
think-
where
I'm
he's
not
coming
sure.
from.
I think his hours in Leland seem to vary some, whatever he's available.
Oh, really?
He's got a certain job he can do and when he can do it.
Have you ever been in that business over there?
No.
I haven't either. It'd be fun to see it.
You know, they were really heavy machines across the street when they bought rear offs.
Oh, in Bob's.
Pretty good forklift to put that in there.
I bet. So Bob's just fully retired then?
Wow.
Does he go south or what's he
Well.
do?
He still does this and that for people. Technically, he's retired.
He just doesn't have to do anything anymore. No, he can just.
I'm not even sure where he does it now. I mean, if he does it at all, after he sold the shop.
Mm.
Never seen anything going on in his garage. He's certainly not gonna do it where his toys are.
So can we talk about EMS during open forum?
But the extent of it is just updates where we're at.
You can,
No
you can
formation.
discuss information, we just can't have any votes.
Yeah. So just to update everybody, I suppose we can say we've formulated our committee or our council, minus the project coordinator.
And the plan going forward on getting that position filled is we're waiting on,
Or 10 days.
okay, so next,
The end of this week is the 10 days.
So we'll probably action on it next week.
I think if you could just have some conversations with,
And I can call him too. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been so busy with
you
stuff.
got his
Yeah.
number, right?
Yeah, I got it. I think you gave it to me.
hi guys.
Hey,
Number 2, secondary road matters.
Having fun yet?
it was a eventful weekend, I guess, or holiday weekend. I guess, Friday we ended up pulling the plows, just got visibility, it was too bad. We ended up sitting in the road at times and that got dangerous just for someone coming up and rear-ending us and stuff like that, so. Ended up pulling the plows, then didn't get back out till Saturday morning. Opened them up, I guess, and kind of maintained them the best that we could on the blacktops. It kind of drifted in behind us again, but ran the gravels too. Sunday, the same thing. Yesterday we ran the trucks and we kind of had some breakdowns over the weekend, kind of got short on maintainers. That's why we didn't run gravels yesterday. With being a holiday weekend, can't get parts from Ziegler. Some of them we just didn't have on hand, so. Spent some time yesterday. We got one of our maintainers up and going yesterday again, so. We're pretty good now. Ziegler's supposed to come and the other 2 are pretty easy fixes, so.
Is it more electronics then, or?
Yeah, the one, I mean, it's just, we can do so much with our CAT ET, but event codes you can't clear out. It's basically CAT John Deere, all of them are the same. It's kind of that dummy proof thing where you can't say, hey, it's just not running right.
Why
And they'd
can't
be
they
like,
do remote logging through a network?
I don't know.
I mean, you can he can work on computers remotely, why can't, ask him that?
Should,
When
yeah.
are you gonna allow for remote access?
Yeah. Right.
Whether it's through a cell phone or computer or something, laptop at the shop or something hooking to it, because how do you guys hook up to it?
We hook up to a Cat ET just like a normal guy at a repair shop.
Laptop and a cable.
Yeah, so there's no reason you couldn't do it through a Wi-Fi connection with them and they could access it.
Yeah, maybe. So like event codes, it's just the dummy proof for the dealership to say, well, hey, through this event code 27 times that you're low on coolant, that's why it overheated. It's their way. We can't clear that, and that's what one of the machines is having a problem with. The other one's a solenoid. They think it's in Des Moines, so that one will be ready for tomorrow. But
Yeah.
cold weather's hard on machines, so
Electronics hate cold weather.
hey, cold
I
weather.
remember the good old day when it physically had to break.
Well, we had
Now,
those.
now you gotta worry about electronic issues.
Yeah.
The LB Transport hit a truck once, a Volvo, and sent a code through the computer, shut the truck down alongside the road. They had to take another truck out there, get it off. It stayed running, but you couldn't drive it. And they had to switch trailers and then haul that truck off. And the license plate light went out and sent a code to the computer and shut the truck down. That's what was wrong with it.
They're overprotected anymore, it seems
We
like.
outsmarted ourselves.
Which, I don't know, I guess on good note is you really can't hurt a machine. You can't pull it up.
It's
Run
hard,
it, it'll
well,
shut
it's hard
itself
to
down.
hurt it when you're not using it.
Yeah,
When it's
really.
sitting.
My old 92 Peterbilt has that in it.
Yeah,
I mean, low coolant, engine temp, all those things come up and the check engine light comes on, flashes a code and tells you what it is.
yeah,
And it doesn't have to completely rely on everything for it to run.
yeah. So, we had maintainers out today cleaning up that 3-4 inches on the gravels, which I think overnight the wind switching out of the south kind of helped them out, get a little bit to look better today than they did yesterday afternoon anyway, but
Yeah, my
still need to get cleaned up.
county attorney was wondering why her road wasn't clean.
Yeah, it was kind of a goofy deal. We're still short one maintainer, so I had one guy come in and clean up his gravel route yesterday, so we could use that maintainer on a different route today, so that,
Actually, it wasn't the county attorney, it was her husband
sure,
giving me grief. We were all getting around just fine. But
yeah,
I found out, I talked to Bruce later, Bruce Madsen, and he said that they were broke down, so.
I had a question from somebody who told them the maintainers were broke down, so I think it was 470th up there. It's the Holland bin site. They were wondering when that was gonna get done.
today,
I told them, probably get things that we got.
yeah.
Breakdowns on the weekends just shouldn't be,
Holiday weekend,
especially a holiday
Holiday
weekend on top of
weekend.
it,
and
yeah.
in 4 days, I mean, everyone was,
Well,
Well, during that crazy wind and blizzard, I had a few phone calls, of stranded, whatever, people and stuff. So I gave your number out, a couple of times. But I did get a number of really good texts and emails back. I'm gonna read one. Just wanted to let you know that Ethan came to our rescue today. The two gentlemen that came out were extremely professional. We appreciated the effort in getting Tanner home safely. It always becomes a gray line as to when to pull the trucks, especially when elderly people were involved. Thanks so much again. So just wanted to let you know that, people's safety is paramount. I mean, thanks
Yeah.
for doing that.
yeah,
And the hard surface response was a lot better than the state.
I've got
Mhm.
one better than what you guys have any issues getting somebody to work on them on the holiday weekend. I know someone who had the Widowmaker heart attack over the weekend on Friday. No ambulance would go out, pickup out there, got in there, got him to the hospital. And he was sitting in the hospital all weekend long. There was no surgeons were gonna be on duty until today. So he had to sit there, hoping he wasn't gonna have it all weekend until the surgeon came on duty, so.
Which hospital did they go to?
Mason now, but soon they finally got him there.
Hmm.
There wasn't anything they were gonna do for him other than monitor him until Mondays today.
I think the same thing happened with the broken arm from Lake Mills.
Out there, eh?
Weren't gonna be able to do anything to it, with it. So, anything else with, other than the,
Well, on the snow thing, I think our guys deserve a lot of credit. I mean, from the little bit I, was out and about, everything looked, I thought, very good considering. You know, the day after, you wouldn't have known there was a blizzard almost.
yeah,
Except
well,
for
even
some-
even on the curbs by my place, they're backing up and, I could hear them backing up and I don't know how many times just to get around some of those curbs,
The snow was hard.
yeah.
Most everybody understands as far as how things go and the visibility, and I says, you ought to be out there. I says, you think the whiteout's bad in your car, wait till it's coming over that blade when you hit it, the wind blowing it like that.
The other part is, the storm's over, but now we have some pretty, I'd say, important cleanup work to do for some people. I've seen some places where they've stacked up some piles, and the piles have gone from 4 feet to 12.
Mhm.
And so I hope that we can get some of those people to do some work on those piles, move them into the yards or snow blow them or whatever, because another storm's going to come, and if those are still there, they're going to put a drift across the road 12 foot tall.
Winter just started.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we're here before the first of the year, which a lot of times we have empty ditches still,
Mhm.
and makes for a long winter when you got no place to store the snow. So we'll be probably making some calls and talking to some people about how they can help.
So people pushing it off the end of their lane into the,
A lot of people stacking it at the end of their driveways or pushing it across the road and
There's
just,
a lot of pushing it across the road.
Yeah, I guess the proper way to do it is to back out onto the road and shove it into the property and find places that are protected to make the piles. And obviously snow blowers are better because they don't make piles. Not everybody has one, but they usually know somebody who does. So
I don't know
Just-
how good they'd work on this stuff. So hard. Works?
It actually, it would bust up.
Get it
You just gotta shave it off a foot at a time.
a little
Getting
bit.
under it was the trick.
I still have to do that because I didn't need the snowboarder twice the last 2 years, so.
yeah, right.
And this year, I had to dig it out, so I got hooked it up. I got the tractor sitting next to it, I still have to put it on. I dug a hole good enough for Dave Nielsen to get his truck out of my shop, that's about it.
If it gets warm this week and then freezes, then it's gonna be hard to blow.
That's true.
yeah,
I mean, right now, at least it's cold and the snow is really actually pretty light, brittle and light, so it does get in throwaways. So I know our guys would all appreciate that kind of effort from the public, so that when we get another snowstorm, we're ready and
They
can
all,
clear the road without too much extra effort.
they all deserve a badge of courage or whatever for going out in that low visibility stuff, cleaning the roads for us. I mean, it's,
Yeah, and temperature is so cold too.
Oh, that was terrible.
I see the state retooled after their debacle a couple of years ago. They had big storms and they didn't have a beef plow available. They have one on a truck now.
yeah. I think they have 2 blowers in Garner also. I know the state was having problems too. I talked to Kevin a couple times. And
Saturday they had the beef plow, then the blower.
do we have a blower?
we have 2 blowers.
Yeah.
We have one hooked up now. That's my plan today is to
Are
go
they
out
on?
our end loaders.
Oh, they on hand loaders, okay, all right. I knew we had them, but I couldn't remember what they were mounted on.
We used to have one on the Oshkosh years ago, and then now they're both on loaders.
Yeah.
They're kind of classics by now, but work well.
It's pretty good draft by Gene Brass is there,
Yep.
across that gravel road, and that thing had to have been 14 foot high.
Yeah, we'll be out hopefully today, finish up getting an electrical part put into the cab for it, but get out today and tomorrow and,
So who do you send out with the blower then? You gonna do it?
yeah,
Did a lot of people work on Christmas Day?
we worked all weekend,
Did you?
all 4 days.
I saw one, and I'm like, oh. But it was bad, sorry.
Yeah,
The trick about blowers is we have two, and they need to be in 14 places at once, you know, so I just pick the worst spots.
Yeah, I had to go snow Christmas Day too, so Dave could get his truck out on Monday morning.
yeah, there was a lot of people out. Actually, I think there was more people out on Friday than there was on that Thursday. Thursday wasn't as bad, but I don't know if that tricked people into going out or.
Yeah, your friends weren't the only ones stuck in the road. I mean, it's a challenge just to be out there plowing snow, but to have the workaround vehicles is especially challenging. One, because you gotta go around them, and two, because after they get pulled out, you got a mess to clean up too. And, you know, especially on gravel routes, the guys only hit that spot twice, so if they have to go around, that really adds
Yeah.
big
Well,
time.
you
to
know,
their-
you don't mind the people that are going out to try and get somebody's furnace going for them.
No,
That's
Right.
fine, you know, that's what we need and want them to be willing to do that, but anybody else,
yeah, we
Not
kind of
so
have
much.
a deal where if there's kids involved or
elderly,
medical
Yeah.
and stuff like that, then we definitely try to get out there and get to them. We had 3 of them, I think, that we did.
I wondered, were there all good outcomes? from
Yeah,
it?
we got in and out, didn't have any problems.
Good.
It wasn't bad.
Well, it's all, really, that's what it's all about, it's just people's safety.
Yeah.
The only open in Buffalo on Friday was Casey's was open, surprisingly. And we had 2 people in there, but there was a guy that stopped in there that was from Astorville, and he was trying to get to Rochester on Friday, and I'm like,
What's happening?
he turned around and went back to Astorville, and I'm like, man, I don't even know if I'd have done that.
Yeah, I think there was a pile of them that stayed in the roundup room or something like that. Brady Diamond.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, let's move to consider for approval of final voucher for FMCO 95 82 55 95.
So this is the paving project North Lake Mills with Heartland Asphalt. Project's complete, all the documents are in place, and this is the final step. Approval by the board for the final voucher.
Pretty happy with the job.
I'm pretty happy with the job. They get $22,400 in incentives, so on asphalt jobs, the contractor can get disincentive or incentive based on the density of the asphalt. And so this tells us that they were able to achieve pretty good compaction. So that should, you know, help for the durability of the asphalt in the long run. The smoothness, I thought, was better than our last project, and pretty happy with that. Really, we only had one thing we weren't happy with, was for some reason they had some spots that were too wide.
Oh.
Which isn't a safety problem or anything, it just caused them to go a little bit over on quantity. So there's some cost there that maybe we wouldn't have had to incur, but we are buying asphalt, so. We checked around with other counties and DOT to see what there was for recourse, and said really, probably not worth the fight, because, you know, you're paying for actual quantity, and
How much wider?
well, in some cases, 6 or 8 inches. You know, they have 2 pavers sitting right side by side, so if they kind of wander just the right way against each other, it will get a little wider. We just thought that was more than necessary, but we're not the ones running the machine, so we had a disagreement. And the project, you know, the paving only took a few days, so Eric was out there, and had expressed some concerns, and they tried to make some adjustments, and by the time you can tell and it's compacted, half the job's done. So it's tough to make corrections in that size of project. So that's really the main issue we had. Otherwise, they were great to work with. I think the product was good. Subcontractors all did a good job. The Golden Place went well. Everything was pretty well on schedule, even though kind of got toward the tail end. Had good temperatures, good air temperatures through the project.
Well, I can make the motion for approval of the final voucher for FMCO 958255-95.
I'll second.
Motion by Smith and seconded by Jensvold. All in favor? Aye. Approved. I think it looks good.
This is just stamped.
It's nice and smooth.
It's got a signature block on the last page at the very bottom. You got for Susan. Needs my signature yet too.
No, she already signed it.
Give it to
I'm
Scott.
done with it.
No, you're done. Oh, you're done.
He's just
No,
done
it
with
says
it.
hand it to Scott and Carla, they gotta sign
I
it.
have
Thanks, Scott.
one job
Big project.
Oh, yeah,
for
that's,
one day.
yeah, that's
I was itching.
You're about to lose control.
Is he gonna get stamp happy over there towards the end here? Okay. Let's go to number 5, discussion regarding reclassification schedules and secondary road parcels.
Did you want me to talk about it or do you talk about it?
Well, did you have anything kind of?
I just wanted to share what we were doing. So they were
Sure.
aware.
Has everyone seen the letter that we got from Jacobs and Westergaard in the last few days?
Because it was sent to everybody, right?
Okay, so yeah, I can speak to it. So it's been probably a year and a half ago or so since I noticed that for reclassification of drainage districts that included parcels in city limits, that secondary roads being treated like city streets. And so our portion benefit was very high. Obviously, city streets have nowhere to drain but the sewers, and there's a lot of impervious area, but rural roads, especially gravel, absorb a lot of water, especially in the ditches. So we didn't think that was very fair to the department and the general taxpayer, and the benefits should more be apportioned to the benefiting landowners in that district. So they sorted through all the reclassification reports for the last 10 years and picked out all the ones that fit that criteria, and had Jacobs and Westergaard review those. And most of those they have agreed to reclassify. And all that means is changing the number for secondary roads, and all the rest of the landowners in those districts will get a very minute change as well.
They won't have a change.
A resulting benefit increase, but the number won't change. But since our number goes down, their benefit will just slightly increase.
It's
So
spread out
what-
quite a ways.
So like, what was the total? What was the, how
Well,
big a deal is it?
sure,
Was it?
some of our districts or laterals, some small, we had like 14% of the benefit.
That class, or DD1 was one of them.
Yes.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah, DD1. Was there 11, 12 of them or something like that?
Yeah.
So, in general, secondary roads occupies something like 3.5% of land. So you'd expect it to be something like that, maybe 1% higher or lower. And, so off by like 10%. But when you spread that among all the other landowners, you wouldn't see a noticeable change probably.
But we have to go through the whole process of notifying all the landowners, having hearings. We have to meet with the appraisers again, because it changes the classification. So that's why we wanted to talk about it, because that will be coming one of these days.
So what were the fees from Jacobson?
Jacobson Westergaard is not going to charge us because it was kind of their way of doing it and realizing that it wasn't quite equitable. So they're doing it for free. Scott has offered to do the postage because, without his knowing it, we wouldn't have to do anything. So he's graciously offered to do that.
So the people that are being levied aren't gonna see a bill for any of this then?
They shouldn't,
They just see a different number.
when they do get a bill at some point. Well,
They're-
no,
Only if
their
there's work
parcel-
done, or they will have,
their parcel is staying the same. Say
Right.
our original classification is $10,000 and he was $3,000. Well, we're gonna reduce it by $2,000. So now his is 1,000, which means the district is 8,000. So their parcel original assessment won't change, but when the bill comes, they might owe a little more than they would have before
Because they're gonna get a higher percentage
of the bill. So it won't affect them right now at all.
Only if they have work done in the future.
Exactly.
Right, all the prior projects that went with these reclassifications, all those will be left alone.
This is just for future.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One time I was talking to somebody and they're, talking about the difference between, we have to pay for their drainage. But they're saying, they didn't think it was fair that, in certain ways. And I said, well, one thing to look at it is, if there's work in the roadway, we pay for that. It doesn't get billed to the property owners. And when it's done in their field, everybody pays on it.
Yeah, that's
of, and.
true. I don't think most people notice that we kind of get double slammed on some of those.
And secondary roads hardly ever, once one of those projects done, it's usually private landowners that want to go from one side to the other, and then secondary roads does pay for that, so it's, they pay for what they want, so.
so that's already all been reclassified, it's done, though,
No, they
It's going
were,
to be done.
we do have to do it now.
do it now.
Yeah, we'll meet with the appraisers, I believe, in January, and then we'll set up hearings and then get the letters out. So,
Just so you know, it's thousands of letters.
thousands,
Well, that's what I was gonna
Yep.
say, if it's, how many did you say it was?
11
Well,
districts.
11 districts, okay, I thought you said
You're
13.
gonna pay for the postage before the end of the year?
No,
It's,
well, because
you
we're
know,
not ready for letters.
compared to drainage assessments,
But
the
you can
cost
buy the
is.
forever stamps.
Are they gonna go up at the end of the
We
year?
have a cheaper rate
Oh, yeah.
It is, okay.
anyway for the post
Oh,
office.
you do bulk anyway. Okay. How did you figure that out from one,
Well, we had a couple of years in a row where we were having to pay assessments like 70,000 or something.
Like that big project going to Thompson, that one was, the.
so you just had a kind of a little red flag? just
Well,
means
it's not that we can't pay 70,000, it's just that the more money the bill is, the deeper I dig into it generally, so I had Chris and Julie print off all the, which districts it went to and what the total project costs were, and I just kind of looked through and see if anything looks funny, and there must have been one, maybe DD1 or something like that, and so, then I gotta check the other ones to make sure. I don't know, maybe
And then
kind
it
of
was
fluke.
11, and then there were 11 different ones.
Yeah, she keeps
And
all
some
her-
of them haven't been billed. Some of them he just noticed from the classification. So it was good that he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It seems like the one that started it all was in between Thompson and Buffalo South on Highway 9 somewhere. Remember when you first brought it up?
Well, I was 81.
we don't have DD1 in here, so it's,
No.
no.
I thought that was
Maybe
reclassified with a.
we catch that one before they finalized it.
Could've been.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Could have been, but I don't have it in my
That would
file.
make sense. Okay,
That was that 3-lot, whatever down there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Seems like there was one where the ditch was in the road ditch or something like that too, I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
think it's easily explainable and
Mhm.
justifiable.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Now, the road ditches absorb a lot of moisture compared to asphalt or cement.
So when do you anticipate the letters going out on this? Because we will have questions about it.
Sometime January, February, I would think. Because we have to have this all done before June 30, in case there is gonna be a bill for some of the districts. So that's what, I have to have that done.
Okay, anything else on that? Thanks. Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Stay safe.
Thanks, Dave.
You didn't have anything just for any other drainage
No,
matters?
no, I didn't know if you guys did.
Too cold. Something for drainage. Do we have complaints?
Yeah. Chris brought one to my attention that I want to bring to your attention. It's for boarding for rigs. So I called Hancock County and they don't board their canines. If their officer goes on vacation, they find another officer who is willing to take the dog while they're on vacation. They don't pay for boarding. And I think that that's a wise policy to put into place.
So, do we have to pay this one, then change the policy?
I think that's your decision.
How much is it, Terry?
It was $175, no, $176 for 8 days.
I did talk to Sandy, and they didn't take Riggs to the gal that's just right across the street because she doesn't have a dog run, which is acceptable in my mind to not take the dog there. Dog run.
For that many days?
Yes, you know, to keep up the exercise and whatever. The place that they took the dog to also is a 4-city police canine. So they do have enough room and they already have a dog. The fee is minimal, but the idea of it is what Carla and I were concerned with.
So if we were to set a policy like that, then the other officer's gonna have to have a dog run.
Which if they already have a dog, they do.
Well, I think that we're talking two separate things. I think, like Hancock County, they don't board their dogs at all. They find another officer who's willing to take the dog. The Hancock County does not pay for boarding.
Yeah. But whoever's gonna watch the dog's gonna have to have facilities for it.
That'd be up to the officer to find them.
Well,
Right,
it's
I
just
mean,
in their
that's-
home.
Have we never paid for any boarding
No,
ever before with
We
any
have not.
others? And this was approved by
Steve.
Steve.
And we talked to Elizabeth and she said it was up to you guys.
So if we don't pay for it, who pays for it?
Brett?
Well, I guess I have an issue changing the policy as we receive a claim. I would like to change the policy after paying for the claim
I was gonna
because
say,
they didn't know
the-
that we couldn't do it.
That's what I was suggesting. We should probably take care of this one, but in the future, this is what it's gonna be.
Find out what their policy is down in Hancock and try to duplicate it here. Let Steve know that that's our intent.
So,
You know, I mean, what have they done in the past? This is-
They found another, like,
found somebody else to
One of
take the
our
dog.
other deputies is taking care of the dog.
Yep.
And I didn't ask any questions as to why they did it this time.
Sure.
Is this one in that then?
No, I haven't done anything with that one yet.
So we wanna hold this for a little bit then, or are you gonna put it, do you wanna stamp it now? If we-
Well, if you approve it today, then it'll get paid.
Well, I think,
And if you don't approve it, you can not approve it.
Do you want
The
a
policy.
do you want a separate motion for this one then?
It's
I don't
not on
think-
there.
If you
Just approve claims?
just prove the claims. I mean, I think if you wanna ask some questions, you can call Steve, see if he's in the office. Otherwise,
I think we can just, it's fairly minimal. I think we can approve it today and then have some discussion with them after.
You don't get much done for $22 a day, so.
What's
I
the
mean,
point?
It's not, you know, horrendously outrageous, but it's,
But I would like to address it and change the policy to. Well,
Was he just not aware of what's been done in the past, or we don't know? Okay, I
unless
think
there
go
was,
ahead and,
for whatever reason, no other deputy wanted to take care of the dog this time. Whether people had conflicts or whatever it was, or
Because I just wondered about the public purpose of it too.
does this get paid out of the canine fund then?
You can see there, is it general fund? It's right on the top.
Where the account numbers are.
Yeah.
Yes, the general fund.
That's just a bunch of numbers to me.
Well, this is the fund. Fund 1 is our general fund.
Okay. Should it come out of the canine fund?
That's how it came to me.
seems like it should come out of not the general fund.
Yeah.
it seems like it should come out of this, you think it'd come out of the sheriff's budget.
Well, there's.
It comes out of his
special
department.
canine fund too.
Yeah, yeah.
that they-
canine fund is usually for purchasing the canines.
Oh,
That's what that's for.
The expenditures usually come out of,
So where are vet supplies and all that?
They come
General
out of the
fund.
general fund.
That's general? It is, okay.
Are we in agreement on it then, or?
To pay it, to approve this one,
This time, yeah.
and then have discussion? I think so, just to clean it up and get it off your desk, probably. But going forward, it does seem like we should have the discussion about whether it should come out of, I don't know.
because you guys
Sheriff's.
have the right to deny a claim. I mean,
I think we're all in agreement that we don't have a policy to justify.
Next time, he'll know it coming in, that it's coming out of his own pocket.
I don't know where anybody could find a boarder that's only $22 a day.
I mean, it was,
It's pretty reasonable, isn't it?
Yeah, I've heard a lot higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
I don't know. I guess this is a first for me, so I don't,
it's first for all of us.
yeah.
Well, I guess if you want to put it on the agenda for next week to discuss the policy for boarding veterans. If you can get the information in time for possible action.
That's fine with me. Then we'll be all on the same page, what's going on.
Well, I'll make a motion on this.
Approve the claims. I'll make a motion to approve the county claims.
I'll second it.
Motion by Jensel, second by Derby, to approve the county claims, all in favor, say aye. Aye. There we go. Stand adjourned. My goodness.